have Steven Anderson here, who starred in Wun Blee Chung Dee.
Wun Blee Chung Dee.
We're doing a small little vignette here about the production of the film, which is actually Donovan, that's me. I produced the film. I directed it. I did everything. I did all the film. And your nickname's Premium, right? They call you Premium Deluxe.
Premium Deluxe.
And you were nabbed to star as Chicken Man. Why don't you show him the mask?
I was nabbed to star as Chicken Man.
Do the voice.
How'd it go? It went up. There, my darling. Chicken dumb. Chicken juice.
Okay, good. I'm glad you brought the mask, Premium. You don't mind if I call you Premium?
I wouldn't mind if I never saw this mask again.
Now tell everyone who will just watch Wun Blee Chung Dee, great film it may be. Don't put the mask on, or do whatever you want. Tell them how you felt when I first called you up and says we're going to make a movie about a guy who's obsessed with Colonel Sanders.
Well, I was skeptical at first, but then I decided, why not? But then when I actually came down here to do it, I wasn't feeling that great. I was tired, kind of like I am right now.
You're hard to direct, I noticed.
I discovered that you really didn't have, the whole thing conceived yet. I mean, you just had this little script you'd written out.
Actually, you know what? I can tell you right now, the whole thing was done just piecemeal. A little bit here, a little bit there.
Well, actually, it ended up starting out with what turned out to be the very end.
Yeah, we filmed the ending first, which was you sitting in a chair going crazy with a blanket on. And we had to film that scene. How many times did we film that scene?
Too many times.
Probably 5 or 6 takes.
It was right over there in that corner.
Let's point to the corner. There it is.
That green chair there. It might have been the red chair at the time, but anyway. Where that green chair is the mortal spot where I sat there with the blanket wrapped around me. With the blanket on me and all wrapped around like that, and I had to say those lines. You kept feeding it to me over and over because I kept forgetting, and I can't remember right now what it was. Like something like, and the chicken, the bucket, I can't get enough eagles, or what the hell was that?
If I remember right, you were saying something about, here I sit, you were all upset. I don't remember the exact line. You says, believing that one heart of a chicken, and anyway, anyone who's watched the film will know I don't have a script in front of me.
This bucket can't fit enough eagles, or...
Oh, I'll never have a bucket big enough for fried eagles. How'd you feel about that line?
I should know that line inside out right now, but the passage of time, things water under the bridge.
I notice on the screen in the background there's a scene of you with our good friend Dell, who played several characters in the film.
Yes.
How was it working with Dell?
Well, you remember how it was. It was a cold night at that little shack that he lived in. That's his real residence there. I mean, he actually lived in a little shack. And in the summertime, it's very hot in there and stuffy, and in the wintertime, it's freezing.
There were spiders everywhere.
There were spiders. He had a spider in the bathtub that night, I remember. I guess.
We asked him if that was his pet. You asked him, you said, Dell, is that your pet spider?
Yeah. Apparently, it had lived in there for quite a while in his bathroom there. And he had a black cat that, was all friendly and wanted to climb on my lap and all that.
And the whole idea of having him play the old lady came from a miscasting by myself. If anyone has seen the film, and of course, if you're watching this, you've seen the movie. We had a friend of ours named Miranda Carlson. We'll give away the name. She was to be your female love interest in the movie.
She was going to play a prominent part in the movie, but as things went on, we ended up having to cut her out altogether. But some of the scenes are included here in this DVD.
Why don't we show one of those clips right now?
Yes, let's watch one right now.
Let's roll the clip where she's having the discussion about I like slaw and all those fun lines, which we later included my sister and her husband.
I would have really liked her in the movie, yeah. But as it turned out, your sister and your husband actually did pretty good job.
I'm the town crier. Town crier? He was crying and shouting in town about the total juiciness of a double breast and a side of slaw.
I like slaw.
So do I.
Slaw is good. Pimps, they're bad.
Donovan, what a splendid clip.
I really like that clip. I think that's the clip that's in black and white, I believe.
Yeah.
And we also filmed another scene, which actually included me, where I played a pimp. And the pimp character was just cut out of the film altogether because the whole scene with this actress, Miranda, who did not work well with us. She couldn't take direction. I used to try to direct her, and she just wanted to change the script.
She was actually pretty good in it. Well, the thing was, you know what the problem was? Is she would watch it back and go, no, that's not right. I want to... She wanted to do a slick acting job, but we liked that thing. You purposely had that thing where she had a long space between the next time she said something.
Yeah, long pause. I like to do that in this film.
You know, I can't remember what the lines were exactly. It'd be like me saying, Donovan,
And then a
could
cut,
I
different
have
angle.
a drink right now? You know, and it seemed like the old B movies, they had that same kind of thing where a big pregnant pause between the next line, you know.
And because of the low budget we had, we really couldn't afford to waste too much film, so everything seemed to fit together.
Yeah.
And I'm going to roll another clip right now. See if you remember this one, Premium. This is the one where I'm playing the pimp. I'm at Miranda's house, her character, and you also play this character with a mask. I don't know where the mask obsession comes from, but masks seem prevalent in this film. You're sitting there doing something, I don't know what, but it's one of the creepiest scenes, and it must be seen.
You're always putting something on my face. Masks, masks, masks. Donovan, you're the masked man, really.
All right, let's roll
I
this
just
clip.
wear them. He throws them on me.
I believe this clip is in black and white as well.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's roll that clip.
Okay.
So, how's it going? What do you mean you don't know?
It's just not working. I mean, I've tried.
You know that dog of yours?
Yeah.
Do you still have it?
You know,
You know the one that had the fleas on it that actually had eyes that looked at you? It was one strange dog.
that was a strange.
Whatever happened to that dog?
I don't remember.
Can I have a candy cane?
Have it.
Thank you. Thank you. By the way, where's my dough?
I can't do this anymore.
Is this it?
That's it. Screw this.
What happened?
That jerk off was into water sports.
What? You can do
Golden
that.
showers and all that shit.
What's wrong with that?
I can't do this.
Why? Why can't you do this?
As Hall & Oates said, I can't go for that.
What about your mom? What about your mother, Superior, over there? She's got, look at those loins. Fantastic. I'm telling you, you can turn some fantastic old school tricks with those loins, baby.
Will you just knock it off? Leave the... Get out of here.
Huh?
Get the hell out of here. Leave my daughter alone. Just leave her alone and don't call me names anymore. I don't like the thing about the money.
I've had enough of this. Look at what's with your family. I'm telling, what is this? What is this thing over here?
Leave them alone.
What are you going to do? What are you
I'm
going
gonna
to
have
do?
Chicken Man come see you.
Chicken
We need
Man?
to see Chicken Man.
What the?
He can change everything.
You-
I swear he can change. He can change you and make you so much better.
Who is this Chicken Man?
He's a god.
What
He's
is he-
amazing.
What is this Chicken Man going to... Would you... Hold on. Would you shut him up? Please,
No.
shut him up. What is that thing anyway? What is that thing? Is that your
My
friend?
brother.
It's your brother. I've had enough. You go with the Chicken Man. Go with the Chicken Man.
I
don't
am.
care.
You know what?
What is
because I can't do this anymore. I can't give you money like this
Well,
anymore.
look at the money you're giving me. This is just nothing. You bring me $20.
I can make more money with Chicken Man than on the streets any day.
Well, you just try it. You
I
and your
am.
old
I'm
school
gonna go
mom
I
try
will.
that
Yeah.
and see
We
what
will.
you get. You know what
We
you get.
will.
You know what you get?
Come
Chicken
on,
feet.
yeah.
Chicken
Yeah.
feet is what you're
Yeah.
gonna get. And you're
You know
also
what? At
gonna
least we'll be fed.
and you're gonna have
And
this
I
guy
won't have
in a
Trevor.
home with
Leave
you
my
too.
brother alone.
those kids didn't really seem that scared of me. I don't know why. I mean, it seemed pretty creepy. Some guy in your house goofing around there in the corner while your parents are fighting and all that.
I'm really thrilled to know that we were able to include that. Did you know for years since we made this, actually since January 2001, I've thought, darn, I want to include that segment. I know the people who are watching this film and who enjoy any kind of film like this would just love to see that clip, even though it has nothing to do with the final take. What was it like running around Salt Lake City?
Well, it was cold. That's the number one thing I remember most is walking around with that.
By the way, there's our buddy Dell.
Oh,
He's also one of the
Blackface.
blackface. He's Andy of Amos and Andy.
yeah, that's an infamous scene in our movie. Anyway, yeah, walking around the streets of freezing salt post 2000 or 2001 New Year's holiday, freezing cold. There was no snow. It was kind of dry, but it was cold. I'm wearing this suit jacket. It wasn't enough. I mean, it was freezing. Salt Lake City's a desert, but it was freezing that night or that day, whatever day that was in January of 2001.
And there were other scenes that I forced you to lie down on the cold concrete. And
Yeah, we didn't use some of those scenes in the final cut, but there was one scene where I'm laying like I'm sprawled out on the sidewalk, and we had some people like, could you walk over him? My favorite part of the outdoor scenes, though, is that one where you're filming me across the street, and I'm walking down the street past a bus, where people are waiting for the bus.
oh, that bus depot area.
People standing there, and you can kind of see, well, there's a lot of cars and traffic going by, but between the cars and traffic, you can see me walking down the street, and there's people, from their point of view, they can't see you because you're way across the street. You're actually zoomed in at that point, so you're really far away. They don't even know it. All they see is this guy walking down the street, and suddenly amongst their midst wearing a mask. Some of them are like standing there trying to ignore it, and one lady kind of actually backs up a little bit.
Do you remember?
Some people you can see them smiling a little bit.
And one of those times when I was filming across the street where you're walking the long distance from one end of the street to the other with the buses and everything going by, we started filming that in front of the Utah National Reserve Bank or something like that.
What? Oh.
And the security guard came out and threw us out. He said, "You cannot film in front of that bank
Oh, it was some
for
kind
security issues."
Yeah, it was some kind of government building. And he came out and he was like throwing his muscle weight. He's not a real cop. He's a cop wannabe guy. And he finally, hey man, what? It was a boring day. And hey, look, there's this couple people I can come out and harass. So he came out. You can't do that. You've done some serious business here.
Right behind you, Premium, is a scene where you are. Actually, it's on the computer behind you, but the blackface scene with myself as Amos and Dell as Andy.
Which took place right over there.
When we first showed this film at Utah Media Arts Center, it was entered in a film festival in March 2001, if I'm not mistaken. This scene, dead silence.
Yeah, the political correctness thing kicked in. This is an arty crowd. They pride themselves probably in being very, up on the don'ts. The don'ts of societal don'ts.
Did you notice, though, there was one girl that just was trying to fight back, laughing. I think she was forcing herself not to laugh because she didn't want to insult
She was going to
her art standing in the community.
Well, there was a mixed crowd, and there were people of color in the audience, and I guess people didn't want to ooh, that lady over there, she might be offended, so I better not laugh.
And I did that as...
But the thing is, the lady, I think herself was one of the ones laughing the loudest.
I think so. I had to include that because I just love masks. I love putting stuff on your faces to make you look someone you're not. You know what I mean?
Things to close up your pores.
That's...
Facial pores, so they can't breathe anymore.
Yeah, whatever you say. That's why I included myself as Gene Simmons in the movie. I had several... I had several roles, Premium, in this film, and I didn't want my name appearing under every credit, so I actually used the name Khayyam Vitz as the Gene Simmons character. And I only did that because I had the full costume and we needed to kill some time.
My favorite touch, or my personal touch in there was the suggestion you had that KISS credit card for the KISS.
Which is our buddy Frank and Steve who live up in Lehigh.
I said, why don't you have it when they, you flash your KISS credit card, to suddenly do a close-up for like just a few seconds with the, so you can see the band members' faces on the thing, and then it cuts back to the normal room scope. And in the showing the media center, that was one of the things that got the laughs. You know, because of your crass commercialism. You know,
which is great. I love it. I Kiss credit card. That's pretty wild and crazy.
Yeah, and we just did a nice close up right there, and
then back to the scene.
I was proud of that when people went. I thought, that's my idea.
You had some other ideas I need to give you credit for. You know which ones. Why don't you tell them about those? In the filming, there were several scenes, and if you don't remember, I'll fill you in.
That I suggested?
Do you remember when we were...
There were some locations.
Locations, yeah.
There was that old warehouse district. I used to work at a job, you know, stapling furniture together or whatever and covering with plastic bags. You know, the garden path panel place?
You do a lot of menial jobs.
Yeah, they had garden path panel patterns, you know, and fabrics on the sofas. But anyway, I used to take my breaks across the street from there, and it was a train... a loading dock, you know, for freight trains and stuff. And behind it there was where we filmed our scenes of me walking, you know, with graffiti on the, you know, the garages, the broken windows and stuff, and I'm walking along. I like that. I like industrial places. They're, by the way, fast disappearing, and these old, it's city blight, we got to get rid of that and redevelop and build a strip mall. And those places are disappearing everywhere in the world. But we filmed it for all posterity. Salt Lake City's industrial scene.
Also, your great idea of the billboard, the grumpy old man on the billboard.
Yeah. We're going into real minute detail, but these are just little things that all add up to one big, good Wun Blee Chung Dee product. There was a big billboard there. Big billboard there. Here I am waxing eloquently, artistically. A big billboard there with this grumpy old guy. I don't know what the billboard was after, but anyway, it had this big old grump. And I thought, let's edit this scene where when it switches to this scene, you're focused on this face, so you don't even see the billboard.
Like I'm focusing on you right now. Do a grumpy face. Yeah, it was like just a grumpy old man.
And then all of a sudden it pans back and down, and there I am standing below the billboard, with his mask.
Doing that walk that you made up. You made up a walk. I gave you a lot of artistic freedom, didn't I?
Uh-huh.
Other than the beginning where you were having the nightmare and with foul language. I bet.
That's the part I hate the most in this whole thing.
I like the holes in your jeans.
I didn't realize how much... Oh, I should draw a face in it for you. Where's my pen? I'll just do a real quick one.
That's a nice face. You're an artiste.
Artiste.
Okay, that's. I don't know what to say.
But anyway, going back to that scene that I hate the most, where I'm halfway stark naked in bed there, in my crappy room, you know.
Having the nightmare.
Having the nightmare, I'm tossing and turning, and the alarm, and I'm going, I didn't know I said that. I know you were telling me that I was saying that too much, and I was trying to cut it down, but now when I watch it now, I go, what the jeez, why don't we just film that all over again without the... But it's there,
but
all story. All black and white story.
Sometimes I look back and I think, I'm glad you did it, because the nightmare you were having at the beginning, which sets up the whole storyline for this film, is you have a mentally challenged Indian, which is politically incorrect on my part.
Well, and that would make anyone squirm and go...
And that guy was easy to work with, wasn't he? He was a friend of ours, actually, who agreed to do the film. There was no... we didn't coerce him. No, he was happy to do it. He dressed him up as an Indian, and he had Elvis on the wall. I thought that was a nice touch during the nightmare scene.
That wasn't even a prop. He actually had that on his wall long before we even decided to film. He's an Elvis fan, and he got this velvet Elvis, what do you call those?
Painting kind of thing, or
mural or whatever.
Tapestry.
Tapestry to hang on your wall. They always sell on corners, like Indians in Arizona. For some reason, the Indians have a fascination with Elvis Presley too. They do. They sell them along with their teepee or their carpets and potteries and things like that.
Yeah, he was a good actor. I like that. And pretty much this little story's coming to an end here. It's good to have Premium Deluxe, the star of Wun Blee Chung Dee. Real quick, your father was in the film. He was a great actor. I liked it, especially when you killed him.
He's still a great actor, and he's not dead yet. He's getting there.
I never said he was dead.
Yeah, I know, but in a year...
You don't take direction very well. You're a lot like that Miranda chick.
But he was really good in it. In fact, he was eating that TV dinner. He was actually eating a TV dinner. We didn't set the stuff up. He's always watching TV, and he had this little TV there with his antenna with the little yellow balls on it, so you don't poke your eye out. And he was actually eating TV dinner when you came over and started. Hey, do you mind if we film you? And he was just kind of fed the lines and.
Yeah, I fed him the lines one by one, and he did a splendid job. I thought it was extra stellar.
And it came out real B movie-istic, as which we wanted, but he was very good in his B movie-esque, even better than me. If you look at that scene again where I'm talking to my dad there, he's actually doing a better acting job.
Other than the fact that after 4 or 5 takes, his food was gone, and all he was left to do, and look back on this, everyone, is stir an empty dish. That's my favorite part.
Yeah,
he just keeps stirring.
He's already through eating the main stuff. He's just kind of stirring the gravy, I guess.
Stirring whatever was left in there.
Or just absent-mindedly.
What do you think about the possibility? Well, just run this past you real quick while you're on film. Possibility. Let's get a reaction. That was disgusting. A possibility for a Wun Blee Chung Dee Part 2. Now give the real reaction. I don't want any BS.
The movie E.T. Perfect because there was no sequel.
But Steven Spielberg did re-edit everything and change things.
Star Wars, sequel after sequel.
Really quickly now, what was your favorite part of the film? Not just a film, but just part of the film that gives you
the cemetery thing. That was another one. My good idea was we were at the Salt Lake City Cemetery, and we just happened to go around looking for sites, and I remembered that marble mausoleum with a reflective mirror-like thing. I know, it's me.
Well, that was not your idea. Was that your idea to do the... It was your idea originally.
Looked like I was flying.
We had originally filmed there years ago, constantly. We were obsessed with that mausoleum.
We keep going up there with a camcorder.
To make it look like you're flying.
Let's do that thing when we're flying.
I think that was mainly done just to fill space.
Yes. And the stone, the victim of the beast, that's a real stone there. I used to work at this cemetery, so I was familiar with every stone, anything interesting or odd at the Salt Lake City Cemetery. And we have this one, Lily E. Gray, died in 1958, and it said, victim of the beast, 666. And it's still a mystery because I looked in the obituaries, in the microfilms from 1958, and there is no revelation. Doesn't say a thing about it, how she died or anything. I assume she just died of old age. But I was mighty disappointed because I wanted to find out what the significance of 666 on that stone is.
I give you full credit on that one.
Yes.
I had nothing to do with that. That was your idea. And it shined through.
Thank you, Donovan. We had fun.
It's been a lot of fun talking with Premium Deluxe here, better known as Steven Anderson, star of Wun Blee Chung Dee, and I'm Donovan. I'm the one that filmed the movie. I came up with the idea. And I admit, the whole thing was thrown together piecemeal, on a budget, small budget, almost non-existent budget.
You did most of the work. I'll give you that. I just, I kind of groused along. Oh, no, do we have to go filming again today? We did this over a period of, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
About a month, I think
About a month, and every once in a while, it seemed like when I was least feeling like it, or I was just kind of in a grumpy mood or whatever, I just wasn't in a filming mood, but off I had to go and walk around in the cold, or put a mask on, or do this or do that, but I'm glad we did it.
Put your mask on.
Chung Dee.
Put your mask on one more time.
The final product. Wun Blee Chung Dee. I'm Chicken Man. Yeah, Donovan. I love being Chicken Man. Wun Blee Chung Dee. The Indian gave me my name. Heart of an eagle is what it stands for.
Hey, that was pretty good. Thank you for appearing. And we'll see what we can do about giving you a little bit of royalties on this whole affair, this whole project. That's okay. That's all right. Put the mask away. Thanks for appearing.
Goodbye.
Goodbye. So no Wun Blee Chung Dee Part 2. It's out of the question. You just don't improve upon whatever we did?
E.T. phone home.
Okay. See you later.